It's that time once again as we get a chance to bring you a little RNL rundown courtesy of HPI Bet. I'm Jason Portuondo. Hey, thanks for joining us as we get a chance to discuss some races you can watch live every Friday night on TSN from 7 until 9 o'clock Eastern Time. This week, a treat. Yeah, on the heels of Halloween, albeit 9 races coming your way. 9 races. We've never done that before. Friday will be a first. We're also going to talk 3 different types of football: NFL, NCAA, and oh, yes, MLS for those of you on the other side of the pond. We'll squeeze in a little Christmas talk. And oh, yes, some Breeders' Cup as well. I'm not going to do it alone. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I've got some family members to introduce. First up, the guy who is, yeah, literally first up every morning on TSN radio. By the way, he leads this team in block shots. Carlo Colaiacovo, CC, good to see you. We also have JSB in the house, Julie Stewart-Binks, host of Drinks with Binks, and digging that fascinator. She is by far the best looking of the foursome. Also catch her on Fubo TV. And a colleague of mine right here at Woodbine Entertainment, Chad Rozema. Rosie, always good to see you. Let's jump right in, guys. First up, we're going to talk race 3 at Mohawk. Colaiacovo, you're in the hot seat first. Who you digging in this third race?
Well, we're in Toronto and the weather is turning. It's going to be a beautiful next couple of days. And when you think beautiful days, you think sunny weather, you think beaches, and you think sand between your toes. So I'm going to go with the favorite here, and I'm going to choose sand between your toes because I'm digging the weather.
Well, Julie?
All right, well that's pretty good because I mean it's not that nice here in New York City right now or elsewhere in the place that I call home. I'm going with Better Be Donna because 3 of her last 4 wins have come against competition that's better than her. And so now she's going to be racing down. One of her races she got out first at the gate and then was able to win. So she seems like she could go wire to gate, just sneak out of the middle of the night and then be gone forever. Little Gone Girl type of situation. Not sure I trust sociopaths. So I'm also looking at Major League, who, is a horse that has also done really well in this last race. He was in a lower class, but won. So I would look for deep coverage in this one.
2 speedsters in this third race, Better Be Donna, Major League, and that's how I see it playing out. Major League to the front, Better Be Donna in the pocket, and hopefully in the stretch. I've got enough. I'm riding with JSB.
Ooh, all right. I'm going Major League. The old saying is you can't beat what you can't catch. I know where Eddie's going to have this horse. That is on the point, the front end, and I think every step could be a winning one. And that horse has got a huge, huge heart. Speaking of heart, guys, let's talk a little NFL. The Sunday nighter, by far the game of the week. You get Brady Breeze for what? The 4-decade, 6 different team battle. It's amazing. This started back in '99 in college of all places, Michigan and Purdue. And quickly, tail of the tape here, guys. We should mention they are not only number one when it comes to passing touchdowns and passing yards. We've never seen that before in terms of 40-year-olds going head-to-head in the NFL. Carlo, the one number, though, for me that stands out, even though Breeze has a 3-2 professional edge, the fact that Brady has 6 rings, that's more than the Olympics, in case you're wondering. And that's only 1 for Breeze. Who do you like on Sunday night?
Well, it's almost, you look at this matchup and you think to yourself, who's going to retire first? Because it's almost like they're out dueling each other for that notoriety. But hardest thing to do in the NFL is to beat a division opponent twice. We saw New Orleans get the early edge in the first game of the year, where it was Tom Brady's first game with his new team. I'm all over the Bucs in this one. Even coming off a Monday night where it's kind of one of those sleepy games. Tom Brady's having a career year, 20 touchdown passes at 43 years old. New Orleans still dealing with a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the game. Tampa's getting Antonio Brown into this lineup to add to their arsenal of weapons. I'm all over the Bucs.
Yeah, I got to go with Carlo on this one here. You've got 2 of the, most historic, old quarterbacks in the league that have been very, very good. And whoever wins this one wins the NFC South. It kind of reminds me of another race between 2 old guys who are not sure who's going to win. But what I like about this is it reminds me of Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson on the back nine. Both of them have illustrious careers, Hall of Famers, just like Breeze and Brady. But when it comes down to it, I still see that Tom Brady has that chip on his shoulder, that axe murderer gene. He wants to prove to Bill Belichick that he can do it with Tampa Bay, and he is doing it, as Carlo mentioned, having a career year. He also has all of the weapons at his disposal, and let's not forget, they're welcoming in Antonio Brown this week, so we'll have to see how that sort of shapes up. Drew Brees dealing with a bit of an injury after the game against Chicago, looking a little bit pedestrian this year too.
Yeah.
Well,
Rosie?
This is going to be fun to watch, as we know, to get to just, marvel at these guys. I think they've both been taking dips in that pool from Cocoon. I mean, 85 years combined between them. It's just absolutely crazy. But the edge goes to Brady. I know they got the best of him at the start of the season, but that was him at the start of the season with a new team. They've improved every week, and now, as you mentioned, they get Antonio Brown. I know, Breeze is getting Sanders and Thomas back, and he's going to need them. But I don't think it's going to be enough, not up against that defense and Brady running that offense. Tampa Bay all the way.
Slam dunk. I'm with you guys. What they've done together, it's amazing. They've thrown for like 86 miles. For those of you on our side of the 49th, that's 138 kilometers. Unbelievable. But the bottom line is this. I don't think the Patriots are that good a football Patriots. The Saints are that good a football team. So I'll take the old Patriots quarterback, and I'll go Tom Brady. I think the Bucs win. But, hey, we're forgetting about the most important 40-year-old quarterback, guys. Josh McCown at age 41 signs with Houston, I believe.
Again.
That's his 12th different franchise.
Back from the dead. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Crazy. Unbelievable. All right. Back to the races. I think it's a wide open finale to the Thoroughbred card coming up on Friday. Full field. It's anybody's guess. Here's a look at the field. I'm glad I'm not going first. CC, up to you.
Well, the one thing I've learned about horse racing is when you find something good, you stick with it. And when I look at this race, the first thing that sticks out to me is jockey Daisuke Fukumoto. I rode him with Mighty Heart. I rode him with Gia last week, and I am riding this jockey with Are You Watching, Bud, at 12-1.
You know what? That's a great way to pick that horse, because I thought about that too. Although he ran Mighty Heart pretty hard out of the gate, so I'm not sure if I trust him. This one, I do believe is very wide open. I see two horses that remind me of one another in a way, and they're both very good. We got Bajeros Boys at 3-1, number 12, and number 11, Chiricahua Signal at 4-1. They're both very similar. So they're dropping a class. They've both never run at 7,500 before, and they have placed second in each of their previous two most recent races. They have the same trainer, Martin Drexler. So who does this remind me of? A little Daniel and Henrik Sedin situation where, it depends on the day who might be better. Daniel had more goals. Henrik had more playmaking points, but Henrik at the end of the day was a Hart Trophy winner, and I believe Bajeros Boys wins this one.
Still can't tell.
I'm with everybody that it's a wide open race in here, and I'm like Carlo. I'm going to Price, and I'm going to go number 13. A week early on, Friday the 13th, but I'm going to go King in his court. Terribly slow start last time. He's had some traffic woes in recent races. I think this horse is going to be heard from late down the stretch. You watch out. He is going to be rolling.
I'm listening. You had a nice long shot winner. I don't know how. Not even Miss Cleo could have seen Changasa winning last week, but somehow Rosie did, so good on him. Carlo, man, I love you. You're my second favorite Carlo behind only Ancelotti, the man who heads up Everton. But how does CC miss CC? Holton's Corner. I thought for sure that's where you were going, but I guess not. I know
Gotta
this
stick
horse
with
has
my
more of an
jockey, man.
affinity. Yeah, well, all right. More affinity for the grass than synthetic, but I'm going to go Justin Stein, top jockey. Holton's Corner as my pick in that wide open 8th race. Back to football, guys. Huge one coming up in the NCAA. COVID kind of took away some of the luster because obviously Trevor Lawrence isn't going to play for number 1, Clemson. But number 4, Notre Dame comes in hot. This may not be a slam dunk, especially with the quarterback situation for Clemson. Who do you like, Carl?
Well, every Saturday on game day, they always have an upset watch, and I believe this is the upset watch for college football this week. You talk about a revenge game, go back to 2018, the college football playoff, where Notre Dame got embarrassed in that game by Clemson. And Notre Dame comes into this game not feeling that they're getting much respect. This is a team that's won 22 consecutive games at home, including 12 wins in a row. Clemson obviously not having Trevor Lawrence in there is going to play a huge factor in this game, and probably the result. I am going Irish this Saturday.
I like it.
Yeah, well, Carlo, I got to do that too because this is a Notre Dame household, as my boyfriend is an obsessive Irish fan. It's almost like very difficult to be around. As you mentioned, 12 wins overall right now, 12 straight wins, and they have been a team that has never been able to get it done against big teams. Like since 1994, that has been their MO. You mentioned the game against Clemson in 2018. You go back to Alabama in 2012. And this is a team that you've got your fourth-year starter, you've got a great O-line, you've got good defense, you've got all the things to make it work. You're going up against Clemson without Trevor Lawrence. There's also 2 starters on defense that are out there. Their backup quarterback's a 5-star recruit, but they had to scratch and claw their way to get past BC last week. The thing is, if Notre Dame can't do it now, when can they do it? It's like Ricky Fowler. Let's use golf analogy again. He's always kind of in the mix, but then on the final day, never able to really get it done. Or someone who is playing beer pong and the final cup is left and they're just not able to get it in that, just not able to win it. Now it's closer. So now you got to make that final shot. This is it for Notre Dame.
Hey, a huge opportunity for Notre Dame, and this is going to be just such a fun game to watch. And that offensive line of theirs, I mean, that is a group of grown-ass men. It really is. And you know what? Even with all that stuff and the injuries on Clemson's side, I'm still going to stick Clemson. I am. Hey, DJ put up some fine numbers. I think this guy's a star. I know they're missing guys on defense, but this is one of the best recruiting schools around. You know, their second, third, and fourth stringers, they're pretty darn good. A lot of other teams would be happy to have me. Brian Kelly said Notre Dame be happy to have a bunch of them. So I think they still come away with it. Won't be pretty, but they'll come away with it.
First of all, Binksy, save the golf talk for next week when we get to the Masters in November, albeit. But no Trevor Lawrence, no Clemson for me. How does it work? Is it something like that? Is that what the Fighting Irish looks like?
Knockout punch.
Yeah,
So,
you got it.
Knockout punch.
yeah. So I'm with you guys.
Can you
Chad,
say the
you're on
name
your own.
Uiagalelei?
There you go, exactly. Chad's on his own. He might get that lone wolf award, but yeah, I'm going Notre Dame. Guys, let's go to the Breeders' Cup. Obviously, that's coming up this weekend. 14 races over the 2 days. We got 5 on the Friday, I should say, and 9 on the Saturday. We're looking forward to what's going to be a phenomenal race when you get to the Classic. There's a look at the field. I love a horse in here. My best bet of the whole weekend. But Carlo, as always, you are first on the box.
Well, this is going to be a great race, and fortunately, you know, with everything that's going on right now in the U.S., it's about following the law. So 'tis the season to follow the law. Cool. I am going to take 'tis the law at 3-1. I just think there's too much to like about this horse, considering where he's raced already, a winner in some of the Triple Crown American races in Belmont. I think it stands a really good chance in this race as well, and that's who I'm leaning towards.
Tizela is definitely a very good horse, has been acclimating at Keeneland as well. And I've been talking with someone who's there who's like, Tizela is just ready to rock, kind of like Patrick Mahomes, but younger, right? 3-year-old horse. I'm looking at Tom's d'Etat. I like to put a little bit of je ne sais quoi French on it as well. Older horse. He stumbled out of the gate. He tripped in his last race, but at Stephen Foster just missed a track record. He is also, let's stick with quarterbacks. The owner of him is Gail Benson, who owns the New Orleans Saints. This is a Drew Brees classic situation. I like him as well as I do like Improbable. A little bit older, and not that much, 4-year-old. Didn't do well last year. Really hitting a stride this year. Not a great analogy, but I think kind of like a Russell Wilson at this point, sort of the favorite. But I also wouldn't bet against like a Maximum Security as well. So my exacta box is Tom's d'Etat, Improbable, 'tis the law, and Maximum Security.
Anybody else? Or just those 4 of the 10, Julie? Come on.
Let's put everyone in.
Yeah, You know what?
Go
I'm
ahead,
going to
Lindsay.
cheat off of Julie's sheet again. I'm with the 4 Toms d'Italia, and for the reason she said, I thought this horse was coming into his latest race awesome. He's been fantastic, just winning and winning with ease. But then he had that terrible break, and you can't afford to do that against these caliber of horses. So hopefully things go his way this week, and I think he's primed for the biggest win of his career.
I can't wait. I love Improbable. For me, he is the best bet of the weekend. You got the best horse going in my opinion, right now. He's peaking at the right time. You got the best rider in the nation. That's a combination you can't beat. So I don't like favorites. If I get 2-1, I'll take it. But I think Improbable is clearly a horse to beat. All right, it's time. Let's do it. The best part of the program, some will say. I think the entire program is just phenomenal. But it is time for a little rapid fire. We're going to go in succession. Carlo, Julie, Chad. First question. Give me your lock of Friday night's card on Racing Night Live.
My lock, I'm going to the 7 race at Woodbine, and I'm taking Moon over Montana. You talk about a horse that's been riding hot. This horse has been riding hot its last 4 races, 2 wins in its last 4, 3 top 5 finishes in its last 4. It's feeling good about itself right now. I feel like this is going to be the lock for Moon over Montana on Friday night.
All right, my lock is from the first race at Mohawk, the number 1 horse in the 5th race at Mohawk. Delightful Terror, racing down. It's like when you can't get a reservation at the Keg, but you know you can get into Swiss Chalet. This horse has it in the bag.
This is getting ridiculous. That's my lock of the night. Delightful Terror,
Whoa!
Rail 5th race. Yeah, just facing easier takes advantage. Simple as that.
Yeah. Okay. What's that? Swiss Chalet? Julie's cut off? Okay, yeah, no problem. I got it. No problem.
I'm using Canadian references. There is no Swiss Chalet in America.
Yeah, I know. When you come back home, you're cut off. Okay, I'm going with Carlo. I like the Moon horse, but mine is Moon Bridge in the first race on Friday night, as trotters will go postward. Okay, guys, Halloween just wrapped up. Can we jump right into Christmas, or should there be a bit of a gap? Because some stations already in Toronto playing Christmas music.
I don't think there's a bad time for Christmas music. Christmas music puts you in a good mood. So if it means that Christmas is getting closer, by all means, play it as loud as you want.
I agree. A lot of people here in the U.S. say it has to be after American Thanksgiving. I don't have that. Give me some Mariah Carey literally on November 1st.
Can we jump into it?
This.
I never jumped out of it. You know me, Porty. I've been watching Christmas movies, listening to Christmas music all year round.
Not a word of a lie. This guy starts getting anxious about Christmas in June.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, you guys are all wrong. The answer is no. At least wait till December, man. Come on. I must be like Scrooge. Anyways, give me your long shot on Friday night, Carlo. You're up for it.
Well, with my long shot, I'm going to the Mohawk race number 4. And, you know, we talk about how nice the weather is here. Well, winter is coming, and I'm thinking warm weather. And I'm going to go to race number 4, sunny Sicily, because in Sicily, it's beautiful. It's in Italy.
Ooh.
And then when you can give me 12-1 and win me that money, I'll be booking a trip to Italy with it.
I can't even imagine the day about going to Italy sometime soon. Okay, long shot for me is from Woodbine in the 7th race is Fire for Effect and 12-1 odds, coming down in class and beat 4 Knights from the 8th race. So yeah, that's what I got as my long shot.
Okay, that's not my long shot, but that's my top pick in that race, just for the program, just letting you know.
Oh my goodness.
I know. 13 King. And
I'm starting to believe, Chad, that you are just actually copying off me in this test.
Yeah, I know.
Right now.
Wow.
Somebody must be sending me your emails.
We should reverse order now.
13 in race 8. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go Colton's Corner. Just keep it brief. 8-1 odds. I couldn't find a bigger number than that. TFC, Decision Day, by the way. Catch all the action on TSN. Shameless little plug right there. TFC tied with Philly for that supporter shield, both with 44 points apiece. But Philly's got that inside track because of goal differential. Who wins top spot overall, Carlo? TFC or Philly?
Well, I got to go with my Reds here. I mean, TFC built their team to be champs this year. You know, they had a disappointing loss in the return to play tournament. Disappointing outcome, but they really made it a priority to have a better season. And I think in doing that, they need to finish with the Supporters' Shield. So I'm all over TFC. TFC.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to bet against Toronto on a show that is in Toronto, but I think that they can do it. They have the opportunity to do it. And I was on the sideline 2016 when they came back, had this crazy game against Montreal, saw them win MLS Cup. I do believe that they can do it, even though everything's set up for Philly. But Andre Blake has a broken hand from game against Chicago, which will significantly hurt them. And Andre Blake's from Philadelphia, for anyone who hasn't was wondering.
Okay.
Yes.
Problem is, TFC doesn't control their own fate, right? So Philly does, and Philly's undefeated at home. They get their first ever Supporters' Shield.
I love when people say that. You can't control your own fate. It's fate. It's uncontrollable. But anyways, you bring up a good point. If Philly wins, they're in. And by the way, Binksy, Blake is actually a Yachty. He's from Jamaica first, and then he plays for Philadelphia. But yeah, I think Philadelphia wins. It's a great run for TFC, but I don't think they get it done. Last question quickly, guys. If you could take the Breeders' Cup to any racetrack so you could be there to watch it, what track would that be?
This is easy. Bring it back to Woodbine.
Julie?
I love Saratoga. The bunting, the old school, just has such a magical charm to it.
I think the quick, cozy flight to Dubai would be fun to watch it at that amazing Meydan racecourse.
Well, I'm going to go and say Hollywood Park. I'm going to blow up SoFi Stadium, home of the LA Rams. I love that stadium. It's magnificent, but I want to bring it back to where it all started in 1984. That's my dream. Guys, as always, it's been a lot of fun. Great chatting, and we'll do it again coming up in 7 days. Enjoy the races. Enjoy the football. Have a great weekend.
Enjoy, everybody.